Water, sleep, exercise, food, carbs, sunshine, fresh air. How much of all of those do we need? And they're pretty argued, all of those topics. How much sleep do you need? 8 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours? How much fresh air and sunshine should you get? Is it half an hour? Is it an hour? Is it all day? How much exercise should you get? Is it 3 times a week, 5 times a week, every day? How much food should you eat? How many calories? How many fat grams? How many carbs? How much protein? Argue, 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 argue. Well, here's a great question. What do you need and what's going to be good for you? And I always ask, if you were your own high performance eating, exercise, sleep, life coach, what advice would you give yourself? What do you need to do so that you can do the things, and these are the things that I think we should be able to demand from our eating and exercise plan, from our lifestyle. We should always have a stack of energy. We should always be able to perform at our best. We should love what we see in the mirror and love the way that our body feels to touch. And we should always get the results that we want from whatever we're doing. So whether that's, I want to go climb mountains, I want to water ski, I want to be a dancer, I want to play a sport, I want to have a baby, I want to be a top level CEO, whatever it is that you want to do, does your eating and exercise plan give you the energy and performance that you need to be able to go and do all those things? So how do we work out what's going to be best? And surely if you're feeling crappy, you need to make some changes. If you're feeling great, if you have a stack of energy, you are performing at your best, you do love what you see in the mirror and you are getting the results that you want, why would you change anything and why would you listen to what other people say? And I'm coming at you from a very personal place there, because I have people preach at me, sometimes yell at me, send me stuff all the time about how I should eat and how I should exercise. But I literally have a stack of energy. I perform at my best and I'm continually learning and getting better. I'm an old lady and I'm very happy to walk past the mirror naked and go, yeah, you're doing good, girl. And I'm getting the results that I want from my eating and exercise plan. So I'm one of those unique people. So when somebody yells at me, screams at me, preaches at me, tells me what I should do, I'm not rude, but isn't that disrespectful? Shouldn't the question be asked first? Are you getting the results that you want? And if you aren't, then whose right is it of somebody else to tell you to make changes? Surely you want to make the changes that are going to suit you. So if you're tired, if you're stressed, if you're overweight, if you're sick, if you're depressed, the horrible things that go on in the world, how do we fix those? And is it a pill? Is it a medical intervention? Is it some form of nutritional supplementation? Why don't we just start with the fundamentals? And I talk about this all the time, that it seems that, and it's okay if nobody listens, so it's just very interesting that it seems we're all looking for a pill or a powder or a potion or a program. But what about some fresh air and sunshine? What about enough water? And fluid's really interesting, and I do share this regularly because there's a lot of talk about eating and exercise. I don't think we talk enough about hydration. The human body doesn't work when it's dehydrated. Very quick story on that. The very first marathon that I ran, the next day and the next day and the next day after the marathon, I was constantly vomiting. And I ended up in a cardiologist's office because I had tachycardia, a really fast heart rate. And the cardiologist just laughed at me and said, Rowie, you're dehydrated. What colour is your tinkle and how much are you tinkling? And I said, it's bright yellow and not very much is coming out. And he said, that's why you're sick. That's why you're vomiting. Your body's trying. It's just, you've screwed yourself up. So I learned one time, and I make lots of mistakes, but I like to learn from my mistakes so I don't make them again. So I'm very aware of long, clear wheeze. So are you getting enough fresh air and sunshine? What's the colour of your tinkle? And if it's yellow and if you don't do very much, then you want to be thinking about, I need to get some more fluid into my body. And there's a big argument about how much. Is it 8 glasses? Is it 2 litres? Is it 1 litre for every 25 kilograms of body weight? I always ask what size glasses, and does it matter? Or should it matter how tall I am, how short I am, how much exercise I do, and whether I live in a hot place? I think they're important questions to ask. And that's why the tinkle test is the best. What colour is my tinkle and is a lot coming out? So if it's clear and I'm peeing a lot, then I'm doing great. If not, get some more fluid, or a lot of fluid comes in food. There's a big argument about how much to drink, but something like watermelon is called watermelon because it's full of water. Most food has a stack of water in it. And that's why this test and measure of carry a water bottle around with you all the time and I've got to have my 2 litres every day. What if 2 litres isn't enough? And if you live in a hot place and you exercise a lot or you sweat a lot, 2 litres might not be enough. You might need more than that. Just something to consider. How much food do you need? If you are chubby, you probably need less. That's just pretty simple, isn't it? If you move a lot, you need to eat a lot. If you don't move very much, you don't need to eat very much. That makes sense. I use my dogs as an example for that. I've got 4 puppy dogs who love their food. But if they've been sitting around all day watching television, and sometimes they do that, they don't eat very much at night. I can put out a normal bowl of food for them and they leave half of it behind because they haven't done anything today, so they don't need to eat very much. And that's the beautiful thing about your endocrine system, your hormonal system. It will tell you to eat when you're hungry. It'll also tell you to stop eating when you're full. So it's very rare and almost impossible to become overweight if you've got a healthy, fit, strong body with a healthy, fit, strong endocrine system. So that's where exercise comes in, because you can't get fit and strong. I don't think you can be healthy. Well, how can you be healthy? How can you have an endocrine system, central nervous system, muscular and skeletal system, cardiovascular, respiratory system, immune system? Everything works together to make sure that you're healthy. And they all get healthy if they're fit and strong. How do you get fit and strong if you don't get puffed and if you don't lift heavy? Which is, how often should I exercise question. My question and my answer is always the same to that question. How often do you want to feel good? When you get puffed, your brain fills up with happy chemicals. I can't put it any other way. Not only happy chemicals, but brain clearing chemicals, pain relieving chemicals, anti-depression chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, brain drive neurotropic factor, oxytocin if you exercise with other people or with your puppy dogs or with a pet, and then brain drive neurotropic factor, which is fertilizer for your brain to make everything else work better. So when you're really fit and when you're really strong, or when you get puffed so that you do get fit, and when you lift heavy so that you do get strong, your brain produces chemicals to make you feel good. So how often do you want to feel good? I hope the answer is multiple times throughout the day, all day, every day, which is why I like to get puffed multiple times throughout the day, all day, every day. How often do you need to lift heavy? The only difference between your cardiovascular system and your muscular system is muscles need time to recover, because when you lift heavy, you put micro tears in the muscles. They've got to recover, regenerate, recuperate, whatever you want to call it, super compensate, which is get stronger. So you don't have to lift weights every day, you don't have to lift something heavy every day. You just lift, and then you lift again when you're capable of lifting something heavier so that you get stronger. So how much exercise do you need? There's an interesting question. How often do you want to feel good? How strong do you want to be? How fit do you want to be? And are you giving your body enough time to recover? Which is where sleep comes in. How much sleep do you need? I'm sure you've met people that have 10 hours and they're still grumpy and stressed and tired. And there's other people that get 3 or 4 hours and they've got a stack of energy. Surely it's not how long we're in bed for that matters. Surely it's how deep do you sleep? How stress-free do you sleep? And do you wake up feeling refreshed? So wouldn't it be nice, and this is why I wish for everybody to have a career or business that they love. So you go to sleep or go to bed when you're tired, you fall asleep immediately, you sleep deeply, and then you wake up when your body wakes up. This thing of waking up with an alarm or waking up when you don't feel like it, I think your endocrine system will protect you, because you'll go to sleep when you're tired and you'll wake up when you're not tired anymore. And that's why there are some people that they go to sleep for 3 hours, they wake up refreshed and off they go. There's other people that are unfit, unhealthy, overweight, and when you're overweight it's very difficult to sleep well because your body doesn't move well in bed, you can't breathe properly, there's a whole heap of stuff that happens, which means you might be in bed for a long time but don't sleep very deeply. So how can somebody tell you how long you should sleep for? How about go to sleep and wake up, and how long is that? And it should be deep and should be stress-free. Pretty simple, yeah? Food's very, very complicated because how much do you need? And as I shared before, if you're overweight, if you're chubby, if you don't like the way you look, you probably need to eat a bit less. But do we eat just for ripped abdominals, low body fat percentage and how much we weigh? I hope not. I hope we eat for performance and for pleasure. And as I always ask, wouldn't it be nice to start eating when you're hungry, stop eating when you're full, eat all the foods that you love, don't eat any of the foods that you don't love, and make sure that what's happening with the food, or the food that you're eating, gives you the energy and performance and hair, skin and nails and a body and a headspace that keeps you healthy, fit and strong for the rest of your life. So if you get angry because you can't have the foods that you love, if you feel guilty because you do have the foods that you love and somebody's told you that they're bad, doesn't that screw you right over? So how about, what do you love to eat? What don't you like to eat? Eat when you're hungry, stop eating when you're full. And if you don't like what's going on with your body, could it be a really good idea to have a look at some of those simple factors before you go to pill, powder, potion program, medical intervention, plastic surgery? How about, how much fresh air and sunshine do I get? Am I hydrated? Have I got long, clear wheeze? Am I puffed and lifting heavy so I'm fit and strong, or do I get puffed so I'm fit and do I lift heavy so I'm strong? Am I having a deep sleep stress-free, and am I enjoying all the foods that I love? Am I eating for pleasure and performance? Could that be a great place to start, rather than I've got to go and get a pill, I've got to go to the doctor, I've got to get plastic surgery, I've got to do a whole heap of stuff? And I'll just give you a very fun story, and I have to make it fun because otherwise it's a bit sad. I've worked with a lot of people who I have actually taken to the plastic surgeon's office. I have plastic surgeons in my life. I have lots of medical professionals in my life. And the reason I've gone with them to the plastic surgeon is there are some bodies that you can exercise, you can be healthy, fit and strong, and there is a part of the body that just doesn't get right. It might be excess fat on your bum, or excess fat on the back of your arms, or you've had 5 babies and you've got excess fat on your tummy, and a plastic surgeon can fix that. I love that plastic surgeons can fix that. But the plastic surgeons that I've been involved with have all said exactly the same thing to the people that I've taken to them. Congratulations, because Rowie wouldn't have brought you here unless you were ready for surgery. If you come to plastic surgery and you're not fit and you're not strong, you'll screw up my work. And that's a direct quote from a top plastic surgeon in Australia. If you go to surgery and you're not fit and you're not strong, you will screw up my work. And I share that with you because if you want to recover from surgery, if you want to go into surgery, if you want to have any kind of medical intervention, or if you have some horrible bad luck disease, and as I always share, I wish that doctors could invest their time with people that have those bad luck diseases, not the horrible inactivity diseases that we give to ourselves by mouth and inactivity. Coronary heart disease, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, depression, most cancers are all caused by inactivity. Wouldn't it be nice that the reason you went to the doctor to have any kind of intervention was because it was something that you couldn't fix? I don't want to ever end up in a doctor's office or in a hospital because I'm inactive or overweight or I'm out of shape. I want to be healthy, fit and strong, and if I have an accident, then the doctor can help fix me. And that's the beautiful thing about the human body. If we look after it, it will look after us, and we can actually live our life to the max.